Behind the Cape. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah.
No, not for Behind the Cape. Invincible season 3.
Oh yeah. Definitely ready. Ready. And the turnaround so much quicker this time.
Yeah,
So much quicker.
much quicker. Does that mean that they're not going to have a mid-season break this time, or?
I would anticipate so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would anticipate so. I think that they've heard some of the feedback to it, and also seen how it's affected the viewership on the latter parts of their seasons.
It slowed down quite a bit.
So, it just seems like smart business at that point.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I'm excited about pretty much where they ended. Like you said, them getting here so quickly. I think they're going to ramp up that viewership, hopefully, from what they've
Now,
lost a little bit.
but before I hope this means that number one, that we're done with the the funny jokey trailers in between. Like now you can actually start like hyping me up for what is to come in the next season, and we don't have to like do these satirical, self-deprecating type of promotions. Oh yeah, we gotta wait so long, or we tell some joke about being on vacation for too long, or some bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Like,
Okay.
show me bits and pieces from the next season, or else I'm gonna start getting disinterested.
Okay. Deadpool and Wolverine was supposed to include the Council of Kangs, but of course they axed that shit really
I
quickly.
actually have that whole breakdown from the Exile Scooper. So
shoot.
let's
Okay.
see. Marvel originally had a mid-credit scene written in place for Deadpool and Wolverine, which involved the Council of Kangs discovering the location of Shang-Chi's 10 rings and Miss Marvel's Negaband. So I kind of saw that those were going to be connected in some kind of way. I didn't really see how they were going to play. Obviously, that was a Kang thing.
Mm-hmm.
Here's everything that was written and planned. Mid-credit. Let's get into it. The King Amphitheater, Legions of Kings in armored battle suits. Hopefully, all not derivatives of Jonathan Majors again. That wouldn't have. It would have been. Actually, should have let this go, because that would have been a good way to just destroy all of that. Let Deadpool like drop a bomb or something, kill them all.
Yeah.
No. A withered old King priest variant with red eyes leads them in. Oh wait, I skipped a whole section here. Legions of Kings in armored battle suits are kneeling. Their eyes roll back to their heads in a strange trance-like state. A withered old king priest variant with red eyes, then in a wailing chant in a menacing ancient language. Kang soldiers ritualistically drink and pass bowls of blood amongst each other. This was going okay. That was going to be interesting.
Right.
On the main altar, upside down X-shaped cross filled the spaces. Blood flows down from the crucified prisoners.
That's a lot, especially for a Disney movie.
Okay. I'm finding it harder and harder to believe that this is what was actually approved to happen, but let's see. The prisoners were revealed to belong to the variants of Professor X, Magneto, and Wolverine, Cyclops, and other X-Men team members. Dog. Okay.
So we brought the X-Men into it.
All right. Okay. Some of the crucified
X-Men from other
X-Men
universes.
variants are from the Fox movies, Days of Future Past, First Class, X-Men, Last Stand, etc. Inside the throne room, the main trio, Immortus, Centurion, and Ramatut meet. Centurion refuses to kneel. Centurion questions Immortus' ability to lead since some of the Kings have gone missing. TVA roundup Kings. Now the hero supposedly killed the exiled one, Kang the Conqueror. Immortus reveals to them he has found the location of the Negabands of Miss Marvel and Shang-Chi's 10 rings, since it's transmitting a beacon signal from Earth 616. That's pretty convenient, but could never find it. Now all of a sudden it's just flashing on Earth. The rings were actually sending a signal to Kang the Conqueror, who was tracking his location before he was captured and exiled to the quantum realm by the Council. We found out the 10 rings and Negabands are made out of adamantium. I'm glad this didn't happen.
Why?
I'm glad this didn't happen.
Adamantium is just
Why?
such a great material.
Let me finish the sentence, I guess, and then I'll get to my frustrations.
Got it.
We find out the 10 rings and the Negabands are made out of adamantium. and are relics from the previous multiversal war. The council. Okay, fam, stop with this shit. Stop. If they are writing something that doesn't make sense, stop them and adjust this shit. Adamantium does not predate vibranium. Adamantium only exists because of vibranium. It is a derivative of vibranium. Why we are trying to take the most durable, most use-hardy metal on the earth that belongs to one of the only groups of black people in Marvel Universe, the only black civilization that they give a shit about and write about, while we're trying to take shit away from them and make it some reject metal that Stryker made to plaster to Wolverine's skeleton. I don't know whether or not you just don't know shit or you know some shit and you trying to, drive it a certain way. Either way, it's annoying.
It has to be for it to be just a metal. That's what you're changing here.
Same thing, like with the Celestial out in Antarctica. Why is it made out of adamantium? What are you talking about right now? You already have an ancient metal that it could be made out of. What are you doing?
Lessening the power of vibranium. It's the only answer.
Glad they didn't do this. Not to say that they aren't still continuing other ways to devalue vibranium and whatever else was sacred about Wakanda before they start touching it. The Kangs plan to exterminate the entire multiverse of heroes and mutants so they can rule over existence forever. Mortis uses a spell to drag Sentry onto his knees, making him kneel before him, warning that he will be crucified next if he ever doubts him again. And Mortis throws down a large necklace with the skulls belonging to the variants of X-Men, including Professor X, Wolverine, and others. Pretty dark synopsis. I would have wrote with it other than the adamantium stuff. I would have wrote with it. Plus, it gives you a really clean break with the Fox X-Men, and now we have anything but a clean break with the Fox X-Men. So
sure.
I think it would have solved one problem. It would have compounded another one. Yeah.
Yeah, my question is, and I'm sure somebody's asked this before, but I just got to ask it. Loki. We see Loki variants who aren't actually Tom Hiddleston.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we have Kang variants that aren't Jonathan Majors in the first place?
I don't know.
It seems like that would have been such an easy thing for them to write.
They loved him until he was accused of assaulting a white woman. That's all I can say.
But no, we have to have Dr. Doom.
Why that was... They believed in his ability as an actor and thought that he could carry
he is a great
parts
actor.
of the franchise until he was accused of assaulting a white woman, and then he was worthless. So
even though he didn't do it,
it just shows you how much confidence they had into him while they were planning this phase, and how quickly they moved on from it because literally everything was set up for him. So
yeah, facts. Tony Robinson says, "Sounds like Marvel is writing fan fiction."
Absolutely,
that's basically what that sounds like. Yes, satanic fan fiction at that. Borderline satanic fan fiction. Apparently, people are giving early reviews of Denzel and Gladiator 2.
Okay.
And people are saying it might be Oscar time.
Yeah, I mean, you hear some of that stuff from the early access viewers. I don't know how much I put into that. Yeah. Now, this is a film that I've been anticipating for a while, so I do have very high expectations. I would lean a little bit more on the first audience reactions and see how that's going first, sure, as opposed to the people who are given early access. A lot of times they already have pre-existing relationships with whoever it is that gave them the access to see the film early. So
yeah,
there is a little bit of bias built into that automatically with those type of reviews. It's just better to wait to see it yourself, or at least wait for somebody that you trust who's seen it with their own two eyes.
Yeah, I have no doubt in my mind that Denzel has done a good job or even a great job, but Oscar worthy before the movies even come out is crazy.
Let's see. We'll see.
Okay, let's get into some DC news, shall we?
Sure.
James Gunn is apparently super excited about his casting choice for Superman, so much so that he says, and I quote, "David Cornsweet sweat will blow people the fuck away." Yeah.
Anyways. There's so much going on with him right now. Like, obviously we got the controversy with Aaron. Joker is doing what it's doing. We got a preview of Creature Commandos this week as well.
Yes.
We got to see the first preview for that. Sticking with the Corn Sweat thing, okay. So when people are talking about a lot of other things, and you bring their attention over here to whatever it is you want them to talk about, it could work sometimes, right? But then for your more seasoned people who can see how you're communicating, how you're moving, can see that, all right, well, you clearly don't want us to be talking about any of that other stuff. And while I believe, he believes in David Cornswell, obviously he casted him, and then he's got a lot banking on this Superman movie, so he better believe in him like that. There's some other stuff I'd like to hear you address before we start talking about Corn Sweat in 2025. Some other things that are a little bit more immediate that you could choose to talk about. He loves to get on the internet and fight about frivolous things. At least we could do is get some answers on some of this other stuff. Like you're going off about Crypto the Superdog. Can't hear anything about why you chose Aaron Pierre over an actor who actually looks like him phenotypically. Yeah, directly.
Oh, okay.
Mahogany.
I think that would be him trying to avoid maybe some of the backlash.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%. And I mean, it will work for a certain degree. It'll work for the people who are already on his side. I think for some of his critics, the more that he does that, just the louder it'll become.
It could be worse. DC has done worse before. They have doubled down on some of the backlash that they received for The Flash, and then that crashed and burned.
Yeah, and I mean that didn't really work out for them though. So
no, it didn't. So I mean, could be worse. I guess is all I'm saying.
True.
But yes, Creature Commandos has a trailer out, and it should be coming out on December 5th. We kind of talked about it a little bit before shooting, and
looks like Suicide Squad.
It looks like animated Suicide Squad.
Like literally Suicide Squad. We got Rick Flag is leading. We got Amanda Waller is the eyes or the brains of the operation. It is Suicide Squad.
Sorry, animated non-human Suicide Squad.
It's like Scary Creatures Suicide Squad. Even the Weasel was in the last Suicide Squad. Why? Thought this was integral. I thought this was canon. This means something.
It is canon.
It's world building. None of this means shit. Shit don't mean anything.
Bro,
It's another Suicide Squad team.
G.I. Robot's going to be the next Groot.
No. This isn't consequential at all.
No, it's not. But I mean, it's giving us something until they get into the real things that people want to see.
You know what it's going to begin to start doing? You're going to start having less and less faith in what it is James Gunn is telling you. I think a lot, still, again, I'm saying a lot is riding on his superhero film or Superman film. However, the things that he has told us about the films that are in between him getting started and where he was when he took over DC have not been truthful. None of them. Aquaman, Flash, Shazam, Joker 2. None of it has been as advertised.
But to be fair, those aren't Gunn's actual, the things that he plans on working on for his universe.
Josh, James Gunn got in there, and him and David Zaslav decided that Batgirl was so bad.
Sure.
It did not deserve to see the light of day. It was a bold move.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very loud move. And it was a move that said, we are in control of this thing. We are not going to put out subpar content.
Yeah.
And since they've done that, they have put out
duds.
Two, maybe three. I don't know what the Joker's going to do. But 2, probably 3 of the worst superhero outings of any studio the last decade. The Flash, Aquaman, and now Joker. And Joker's there just because of the amount of money it made in the first one. So comparatively, that is a crater.
Yeah. But they put out Blue Beetle.
Sorry, I forgot about Blue Beetle. Yeah, that was astronomically bad as well. Not in terms of how bad the movie was. I think Blue Beetle was a little bit better than The Flash, honestly.
Yes, agreed.
But, which is crazy to say because The Flash had Michael Keaton in it. It had Michael damn Keaton in it. But it didn't make any damn money. It made nothing.
It didn't.
It didn't make any money.
Huge lack of promo.
Stinker. We can't be looking at Creature Commandos and being like, oh, this is just going to hold us through. No. None of this is holding us through. None of this is holding us through. And what they were waiting for was the promise that your products, the things that you were directly tied to, were going to be night and day different. We're getting closer and closer to his direct influence being on most of these projects. Creature Commando is something that he championed first before Superman. Creature Commando was the first project that he mentioned when he did his little Twitter video.
Yeah. He did say that Superman was the actual movie that he was actually working on, but Creature Commandos would be the
project
first that came out of his universe.
Was Creature Commandos.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see.
But and
That is
even
the
at
first
that, I
at-bat,
can't
for
give
sure.
you bail on all of the other movies. The other, like, pick one and change it, like, materially. But don't just sit up here and expect a slate of 2 years worth of bad movies to tide you over until you get to your stuff. You'll lose your job.
Yeah.
You'll lose your job.
William Moloch brings up a good point. He says they released Black Adam after that as well. So is Black Adam included in the list of
Black
duds?
Adam made more than The Flash, Aquaman, Blue Beetle.
Joker
Again,
2?
I don't know what Joker 2 is going to make.
Yeah.
But it
Something
made
like that.
more than all of those movies.
Yeah.
We love to make we love making fun of The Rock, man. He has still made more money in Black Adam than anything James Gunn has let walk out of that studio. Yeah. So
that's true.
we'll see with Superman and see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Well, Corn Sweat is the guy now, so you're just gonna have to put up with it.
I mean, that's fine. I have no problems with Corn Sweat.
Okay. Seems like you do. Seems like you're hating on Corn Sweat.
I have no problems with Corn Sweat. I have a problem with Corn Sweat's boss.
You won't fight him though.
No, I won't.
Go square up with him. Square up with James Gunn.
That's not going to happen.
I'm pretty excited about this Sam Raimi movie coming to Netflix on October 25th by the name of Don't Move.
Okay.
I think that should be a very interesting movie coming out. Let me give you the synopsis. Basically, it follows a woman who must escape a serial killer with 20 minutes until her body completely shuts down.
It's crazy.
And during that time, just different things are happening to her body. Like her legs shut down, and then like a minute before, like she stops breathing. Like just different things happen to her.
So the paralysis is slowly setting in.
Yeah,
and dude is
yeah.
He like stalking her, waiting for her to break down.
Yep.
That's sick. That's sick.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I don't even know what I would like. What would you do in that instance? You out in the middle of nowhere, try to make it as close as you can to people, and hope that he slips up. Like I don't even know how this is gonna play out.
I don't either.
I would just drag your ass out as far as I possibly could and just walk behind you, slowly breaking down. It's not even fair. It's like shooting fish in a barrel.
Basically.
But it is a concept that we haven't seen before, a suspenseful style type of movie, so it's right up my alley. Plus, I love Sam Raimi, so
Facts.
I'll definitely be checking it out.
Tony Robinson says, interesting. Of course, Perp Minder came out of nowhere. So, year.
What's going on, Perp?
Yeah, no, I'm excited for that one. Straight to Netflix. Makes it easier for me to watch, and should be a good one for the Halloween, for the week of Halloween. So
Oh, it's coming out next week.
it's coming out October 25th.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure. All right, speaking of Netflix, Daniel Craig got some beef with Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos.
Uh-oh.
Let's see here. He says, Daniel Craig reportedly told Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos at the Glass Onion premiere that the standing ovation they got proved that it should get a full theatrical rollout. When Sarandos said it wasn't Netflix model to do that, Craig replied, "Your model is fucked."
Okay, so all right, let's. Daniel Craig is a beast.
Yeah.
But so I get it from both people's perspective. Daniel Craig is obviously he's cut his teeth in film. He's a film star.
Yes.
He wants the box office, right? Like that is the thing for the movies. Netflix is completely adverse to that. Like they've made their money not playing in those waters. They've only just now gotten into releasing their films in the theaters here over the last couple of years. They've been extremely successful releasing their stuff on their streaming services, having it being insanely popular, and then having that drive subscribership. Now, does that mean that Daniel Craig still gets the same cut in that style that he gets from, regular people just going and purchasing tickets and them getting, some residuals or getting some points off the box? I don't know. I have no clue. I can't tell you. I would venture to guess for a star like that, they would do their best to make it comparable.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't imagine he's too underpaid. But I also do get it from his standpoint, like, man, I did Bond for the better part of a decade. I think I know how to do this, and you guys are leaving money on the table by not releasing all of these in the film. Like, if Glass Onion was released in theaters, and they are planning to release the third version of Knives Out in the theaters, well, bodes well to have that prior sequel in the theater as well. But Netflix is looking at it like, we don't need to make $400 million on this movie. We just need another 2 million subscribers over the holiday season to watch, or next season to watch Knives Out 3.
Yeah.
That's good enough for us.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. Seems
Yeah,
like
it's a tough
maybe
one.
they both weren't thinking about each other too deeply when they started this partnership.
Makes sense. Let's see. Perp said in the chat, Netflix should do the Shutter model where they put some of their movies out in theaters and a month later they're on the service.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that's a possibility, but also some of these studios are suffering from the shortened theater windows too. There are situations where a movie kind of gets a second wind or it catches steam through word of mouth later in the viewing cycle. And while that may not be a big deal for studios like Warner Brothers or Disney, for smaller studios like a A24 or Blumhouse, that kind of stuff, yeah, no, that money is going to go a long way, like to making sure they break even. So I think shortening the window hurts more people than it helps.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you have a streaming service looped into it, it would behoove you to get that newer content on the streaming service as fast as possible. So
Yeah.
I could see that.
I don't know. We'll have to continue to watch and see what happens with Netflix and how they do their model. Because if more actors decide, nah, fuck that, they're gonna have to do something about it.
He said your model's fucked.
Yeah. Yep. All right, we got some Black Panther casting rumors. Damson Idris is a name that pops up, I feel like, pretty much in every huge black role at this point. And he's on a short list for T'Challa, obviously, for us.
Absolutely, yeah.
Are you excited about that potentially being one of the rumors?
About Damson Idris? Yeah, absolutely. Anytime. Yeah.
How about Aurora Monroe potentially being cast in Black Panther 3?
Seems lofty, but also a very good move.
Okay. I do like the actress that they say, Jamie Lawson.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen her in a couple things. Obviously, the Batman as a mayor. I think I didn't see episode 4 yet, but obviously she plays some part in the Penguin as well, from what I'm seeing.
In episode 4?
No. I said I didn't see episode 4, so I don't know if she's popped up yet. But
No.
I
think
she'll be popping up in this.
maybe
season.
she pops up later in the season. I haven't seen her so far, but she's in that universe because she's
Right.
the mayor. So.
Yeah. So,
First of all, shout out to Darius for providing us with the insider information on this one. I think that if they were going to go this route, having both of them kind of come in and stabilize what seems like is an unstable Wakanda would be a very good play. It also fills a few voids that they have right now in terms of their black roster, right? None of their characters, from Rhodey to Monica to Shuri
Wilson.
to Sam, we haven't built out their families. Shuri we have, but they're all dead. Like we don't know if Sam had a girlfriend at all while he was an Avenger, if he has an ex-wife. He has a sister and some nephews, right? We know nothing about his personal love life. We don't know anything about his personal ambitions outside of being an Avenger. He owned a shrimping boat. He was trying to get a loan.
But there were relationships in the comics.
Right.
So.
Right. Same thing with Rhodey and Monica Rambeau. Nothing. We know her mother, right? And obviously she's gone. Did she ever have a dad? Does he exist? What about those grandparents that she got dropped off with in Captain Marvel? They're they show you who they care about in terms of character development because they take the time to build their life, their world around them.
Mm-hmm.
They did that for Steve Rogers. We knew everything about him. They did that for Tony Stark. They did that for Thor. They've done that to a certain degree with Banner, even though it's not to the same degree.
Sure.
They have not done that for a lot of the black characters. Even to the point where we're on like year 12, finally getting a limited series for Samuel L. Jackson, and we just found out that he's been married the entire time. And not just married, but married to a Skrull. So it's like you don't want to be in a position again where you've had guys in your film universe for over a decade and you don't know if they're dating, married, how many kids they got, but you know that about Clint Barton. But you know that about Tony. You know that about Wanda and Vision and everyone else. Yeah. Scott Lang. We've seen infinitely more about Scott Lang's life than we've seen about any of our black characters.
Yeah. Or Star-Lord.
Stay you T'Challa, obviously, but that's about it.
So, hell, they even did it for Black Widow, says Latrell Bradshaw.
That is true. Yep.
Disney needs some flavor. Bring in more black heroes.
That is it.
I mean, they still got opportunities to bring more in. You know, a la Blue Marvel and, there's a few other ones. So,
if they ever get that Blade thing over, get that going.
That's never going to happen. I think we all know that, unfortunately. Okay. Smile 2, 46 million worldwide. So, that's good for a horror movie.
Yeah, I was about to say horror's winning here lately. That's a pretty good outing, I feel like.
Did better than its original.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, that's cool. And then we got a release date for Daredevil Born Again, March 4th, 2025.
Oh, come on through, Mr. Cox. Daredevil. I got some shots of his suit. It looks pretty cool.
Okay.
And also the amount of detail that they've shown to this. They've brought back Rachel. They brought back Foggy. They brought back John Bernthal as Punisher.
Mm-hmm.
Good night, man. This should theoretically speaking, they have taken all the steps pre-release, pre-production to make this a good show.
I mean, when you basically make it the next season, basically to the last.
But that's how they had to do it.
Yeah.
And the fact that they even had to work their way up to it kind of lets you know where we're at with them. So I'm not taking anything for granted.
Facts. William Moloch says, we getting Wonder Man.
Wonder Man? They're not even going. So Wonder Man is also supposed to come out in the spring.
Yeah.
So if Daredevil is going to be, 8 episodes or 10 episodes? It's like 8 or 10.
I felt like it was 8, but it could be 10.
And it's March 4th. That means we're not open to do another show until May.
They'll have some time before. It's not like it's Power where they continue one right after the other.
Right, yeah. I was about to say it's got to be sometime mid to late May that Wonder Man may come out. Maybe. Even though it was supposed to be spring 25. I don't know what's going on with Wonder Man.
But are you anticipating it anyway?
No. What?
So, I mean, who cares?
Yeah, no, I don't give a shit. I was just saying it may get reorganized if they've put Daredevil at 4. Or May 4th, excuse me.
Yeah, we'll see.
March 4th.
What did I say?
No, I said May 4th.
Oh.
May the 4th be with you.
Officially rated TVMA as well.
I like it.
I can't find how many episodes, but... Oh, here we go. Daredevil Born Again is scheduled to premiere on March 4th with a 9-episode first season.
9 episodes.
That's
long first season.
Yep. So, yeah.
I guess that's technically season 3 of Daredevil.
Matt Murdock got smashed by She-Hulk, but in his show, he's going to be a good Christian boy.
Smashing She-Hulk is something crazy. That's insanity.
Yep. Anyway, want to take us out?
That's it for Behind the Cape this week. Give us your thoughts on all the takes. Give us any takes that we missed in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Come back every Sunday. We'll be doing Behind the Cape right here.
Absolutely. Like you said, make sure you subscribe just because we do this once a week. And make sure you check out our playlist for Behind the Cape where we talk entertainment, rumors, news, updates, and all that good stuff.